Well, hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so another week has gone by, another KT time is here. As always, we do have quite a lot of things to talk about because this has been fairly eventful time in Malcolm's Champions. So let's say welcome to Akash, Rant, Jacob, Harry, JJ, Daenerys, Lawrence, Pekka, everyone. As always, a reminder that during KT time we do not actively reply to every single message. The main point of this is a podcast type format where basically me and Mando just discuss the events of the game. So we will be doing our best to read the chat, but most of the time we will not be actively replying. So this is not the stream to quite ask rank up advices and things like that, unless you are perfectly content with other members from chat answering to you. But that being said, I'm bloody tired after a bit of a grind, and need to introduce my wonderful co-host Mando, who's patiently waiting to get this thing started.
That's right. It's me. It's me. It's the MANDO Mandog?
Mandog. Okay, let's go with
Yeah.
Mandog.
Anyway, yeah. Hey, you remember last week when we started? By the way, KT, how are you?
Oh, I'm honestly tired, and I probably should get
You're
something
tired.
to eat soon. Because
It's
my
all
stomach is
good.
letting me know when.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll figure out if it was all worth it. Maybe by the end of the stream. I don't know. But remember last week when we were talking and I was like, hey, you remember every week it just we're not even meaning to have something happen, but we always seem to talk about a bug in the game that's brand new that we hadn't talked about the week before.
I already have the one for next week as well, by the way.
Don't even get me started, man. Don't even get me
I just
started. That's
uploaded in the video for the next week's bug
I know.
discussion.
I already saw it. I mean, technically we talked about it today with the
We're
overview,
gonna
but you know what I
mention it,
mean?
but
But I'm
obviously
just
by next week I expect there to be a solution, so it's gonna be double dipping,
but
so to speak.
but bugs. There's bugs every fucking week, and it was like almost like it was like a joke that as soon as Monday came around and the game refreshed for the 8 p.m. for some people, 6 p.m. for you, the noon for me deals, that all of a sudden we had this new training ground. We had Cap yelling at us saying, hey, you need to get in the training
Learn to
ground,
parry,
buddy.
scrub.
Learn
6
to
years in.
parry. And we're like, okay, so let's all go in there and see what this shit's all about. And basically, the people that could do it, if you weren't able to do it, you went in the fight screen, and the very far bottom right corner, you had Cap pointing at you, and it was a training grounds. It
Yeah,
was
get in
brand
here. And I
new.
thought, ooh, this is kind of cool. I hope they go further with this.
Yeah, which is cool, and I was excited. I was like, you know what, that's kind of neat. It's gonna train people. So then we try training grounds out, and basically the way it worked was it had Winter Soldier and OG Cap, and you were OG Cap, and it said, okay, try and block as soon as this person like is coming at you to attack, and so you do that. It's like, okay, now do it 3 times, and while you're doing this, you're not gaining power, and then all of a sudden it wants you to do it like I think 3 or 4 times, and then it's like, okay, now you can, after you do that, you can attack and knock him out with your special 3, and it instantly gave you a special 3 and you knocked him out. Well, if you went into any game mode after that, any game mode, any game mode whatsoever, after going in training grounds, you and your opponent no longer had power. Ever.
Which is actually quite an
Ever.
awesome bug. As in, like,
It's
you
a great
can.
bug.
You
It's a great
can.
bug because you could just beat the shit out of your
I know,
opponent in
just bring
hard
in
content.
Archangel, not maybe not Archangel, but just bring in somebody in heavy spam to infinity and beyond.
Yeah, I mean you can do Colossus even. Colossus the heavy
Yeah,
space.
or whoever.
Magneto, you need power, so no. But I mean, but
Well,
yeah,
still, well,
so
basically any champion to be honest, just whack them
so
against the wall with heavy attacks.
yeah, so I noticed it like almost immediately and let KT know. He was already getting messages and videos of people showing it, but I told him how the fix. I said I figured out what the fix is though, which no one had figured out yet. So the fix was you had to just literally close out your game and then open it back up, and
Yeah,
then don't go back in the
and then
training
you could
grounds. That's how
still,
you fixed it.
and that was like the, let's say, most abusable part of that dog for while it lasted, because you could turn it
Yeah,
on
I
and off
mean,
whenever you needed.
well, right. And I think AQ was not going on, but War Attack was going on at the time. It was like all kinds of craziness. So basically, long story short, Kabam took it down within an hour.
Yes,
But then they made this real cryptic message that
but
sounded real threatening to people.
here's the thing. Yes, Kabam did take it down within an hour. However, if you had it active, you could still use it.
Oh, it was still, yeah, you still had
And
it.
that's why they made that cryptic message.
Yeah, they made that cryptic message because if you hadn't if you hadn't hard closed the game, you still had that bug. Because there's no way to force, unless they went, well, they went into emergency maintenance.
Yeah, they did go
But
into
I
emergency
still
maintenance.
don't think that really did it until you hard close the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, they made a cryptic threat. If you abuse this bug,
You'll
we're
get
gonna
the
take
action
you
taken
out.
away again. Which I kind of
Yeah.
funny. It's kind of like, you know, the version of I fucked up, but if you laugh at me, you're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. What am I, a clown to you? Do I amuse you?
You think this is funny?
You know?
You think this is funny? You make
Think
fun
this
of
is
me?
effing funny?
I don't know. It's just an
So
unhealthy
yeah,
attitude, I think.
and then I love the forums blew up because people were like, "Why are you threatening us and everything?" And then of course, Kabam Mike goes out. This was not a threat, but people take advantage, and we had to word it properly.
As if Kebab doesn't take advantage of.
Anyways,
There's that, but obviously I am against abuse of bugs, and yes, you should not
no,
use
I don't
this
think
bug
anyone
to
should be
clear
abusing the
Abyss
bug.
now
Yeah.
all of a sudden and stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
That's
I don't
not
think
what
anyone
it's
should have been
about.
abusing
What
it.
it's about is, I think, a lot of people just want to play the game. Like, if it's your time to grind arena, it's your time to grind arena. If you have 2 hours to do a quest, you're gonna go and do a quest. So I think the bigger kind of issue is that Kabam made this vague threat without like clarifying what is like actually going to be counted as abuse and was not, and that therefore a lot of people just kind of got caught. It's like I just want to play the game. Like I don't care for this bug. This is your bug. Like it's like I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it. This is like, I don't know, my 2 hours of a day. I want to knock out some cap difficulty or whatever, and it's not my fault that it's bugged. And then on top of that, you're just randomly trying to play the game. And the Kabam says like, "Hi, and since it's so vague, it can easily come across as if you play the game while it's bugged, you're abusing it, kind of like thing, you know." Which is not what they mean.
Yeah.
Obviously, they mean if you're doing Abyss or whatever. But again, there is no visible line.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the other problem too, though. What if somebody was in the middle of Abyss?
Yeah, exactly. If somebody is in the middle of Abyss and it is bugged, would it be considered?
Yeah.
Because there is no way in hell they can tell who is actively abusing it and who just wanted to play normally and realize, okay, this is happening like that. I might as well just. This is not something they should ever think about punishing players to begin with.
No, they shouldn't. And that's why it disturbs me when they do that.
Yeah,
when they say those kind of things.
Because, yeah, like, you might as well have been in the middle of Abyss. And if you realize opponents aren't getting power, then you can just spam heavy attacks the entire fight.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you could.
So, I don't know, man. It's, again, just time and time again, every single week, something goes wrong. Some emergency maintenance, some cheese, some bug, something. It either swings the pendulum one way or another. Did you notice there was no emergency maintenance when all the masteries got disabled? That's all I'm saying. Like, all the masteries got disabled from incursions the week before. There was surprisingly absent maintenance, no?
Yeah.
So obviously there seems to be always this bias in how these bugs seem to get addressed as like something exploitable, get the game down, something that screws up absolutely everybody who unconsciously wanders in incursions. Nah, you guys are good.
Yeah, and the thing that frustrates me, and I hate the forums, and I went there. I don't know why I went there, but
I go there to read stuff, but I just don't post.
Well, there's tons of people that are like, well, that's not right. They would tell you, KT, that's not right, because how about all the bugs they haven't fixed yet? And they'll start listing bugs I've never heard of.
It's like, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this right now. Anyways, there's always some knob gobbler trying to derail the thread. We all know the suspects. There's no need to specifically target, but I think at this point they are forming like a very efficient gang. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's not very grounded in reality, and it's far from wisdom.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and the thing that bothers me the most of all the bugs we've talked about over the past 2 months, there hasn't been any compensation. And I'm sorry, I'm not one of the people that normally screams compensation, but if one bug out of all these deserved compensation, it was the incursion bug. That still some people are having issues with, from what I'm hearing, but I don't know if that's still the case. It was a week ago, but I don't know about now. But that's bothering me, the fact that they did not. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It bothers me. It bothers me because they're
It
not
does.
admitting to their
It's
mistakes,
again
and
the general attitude, where there is
and
complete two-facedness and bias how they are addressing these issues. Like incursions, disabling all masteries is as big of an issue, if not bigger, than the power thing.
right.
And now a game can stay up. Like you guys are gonna inform each other, right? There was no in-game announcement.
Right.
There was nothing, right? Like
Nope.
this one got emergency maintenance and in-game threat. The one that
Yeah.
players are actually getting shafted over had no in-game announcement, no in-game warning, and no emergency maintenance. And a few days later, they just patched it and pretended it didn't happen. So
Yeah.
the two-face attitude towards these issues is unescapable. That is something they definitely do have to fix. If they do have,
And
let's say, this is the red button emergency protocol, in-game message, emergency maintenance, not come up till the bug is fixed, or something, you know.
right.
But it can't be, it's fine, let the players die, and then it's like, oh my god, the player could be able to save himself a revive or 10. Nah, emergency
Yeah.
maintenance button. And
And,
in
you
general, it's
know,
just far too much, man. Like I'm 100%
this
convinced the crashes, the downtime, the lag issues, the login issues is number one cause of lost revenue for this game, which they have reported lowest earnings ever last quarter.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. I was going to say, I know you talked about it in a video earlier, and we were going to talk briefly. I didn't put it as a point, but the earnings, and I think that directly affects that we're sick of this bullshit from Kabam with this particular game, and we'll see. We'll see if they start changing things, because the roadmap came out suspiciously right around the time of those earnings.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And of course, none of them really address, in my opinion, still none of those really address the issues we're having with all these bugs and everything, and you know, they're delaying things we've been waiting for, but at the same time they're putting something in that could be a potential money maker, but
Well,
not
again, like
necessarily.
ultimately, like again, that gear discussion, I'm not fan. I do have one of the
Yeah.
three things is gonna happen in the future. Number one, the game dies. Players don't want it. Kabam doesn't want it. Number two, 7 stars are gonna arrive. It's gonna happen sooner or later, right? It's gonna
Right. Oh, yeah.
happen sooner without gears, which is number three. Number three, gears come to the game. Kabam finds a new thing to sell to people and make chase and stuff like that, and that prolongs the life of 6 stars. It's inevitable that's just a grown-up kind of thing that we need to accept. Now, I personally, again, I have said this before, I'd probably prefer the evil that I know, and I'd probably personally prefer eventually rebuild my roster with 7 stars, knowing that it will take
Yep.
several years till 7 stars actually outpace the 6 stars, because we're in 6 star rank 3, rank 4 level. It's the same,
Yep.
like 6 stars have been in the game for, what, 3 years now? 4, something like that, 3+ years.
No, it's just about to hit her, I think, year 3.
Yeah, okay, so they have been in game for like 3 years, and only now they are like visibly ahead. Only, let's say, last half a year or maybe last year. So it still would take years for 7 star acquisition to matter as much as a 6 star acquisition.
Yeah.
Just like it was, like, you know, because if you can't rank up a 7 star, then that's not gonna affect the prestige. You can't dupe them, stuff like that. Like, I'd rather have preferred that route. I know a lot of people who wouldn't, and I can understand that.
But I'm with you. I'm with you
And
on
again,
that.
a
I'd
lot of
rather
people.
prefer.
But again, it's kind of like personal preference. One of those things has to happen, and Gears is an alternative to it. Now, should they do the gear system well, I'm fine with that. But do you think they will do it well? No.
No.
Do we think
That's
of
the
Kabam
problem.
as this really apt company who has perfect plan to roll these out well? No.
Yeah.
So, I'd rather face the evil that I know. I'd rather do something that I have done before than deal with this completely new, unknown, scary shit thing, which they have tried to implement multiple times, and all the other times community outrage has prevented them to do so. But right now, the fact that they have pretty much a monopoly on content creators and influencers and stuff like that has allowed them to, well, most of the community remains silent on that.
Yeah.
And that's literally the thing that they could not control before, was the content creator
Yeah.
outrage. Now they can. I can make a video saying I think games are gonna be shit or whatever, and it's scary as shit, but it's not. If everybody doesn't do it, if it's not the main number one thing on forums, it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, they control the narrative now,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
That is correct.
And so anyway,
Anyways,
so that's bugs.
That's the bug section and the scary, bad, depressing section. Let's move on to.
Oh my god, I just looked at Twitch and I saw the thing I sent you. I mean, I looked at the video.
Okay,
I was trying to find the topics and I looked at the
okay.
video.
So we just
new arenas.
So we just discussed the scary, bad section, right? So now we need to go discuss the good section. Oh wait, no. This was meant to be the good section. It was going to be
the good section.
This was meant to be the good section, but
well,
what's your take on new arenas? Let's start with that. What is your take?
Well,
on new arenas?
I went into it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and get some of these milestones and such, because like I only have to do 3 arenas. I can get a lot more units, and
5 more units.
When I wasn't grinding for a champion, like I was like, there's no way I'm grinding for this champion or anything. I was like, I think I was halfway through my run of 6 stars, and I think I was at like, I don't remember, like quite a few million, maybe 4 million or something like that. Or maybe I was more than halfway. I was probably like 2/3 through. And I was like, I hate grinding. I'm going to stop now. I didn't touch it again. And I was like, wait a minute. All these 3-star boosts and stuff I can't really do anything with anymore because I'm not really going to use those on the arena where I could use like up to 4-star. It's like, this sucks. I don't want no 4-star Nexus. I'm out of here. This is not worth my time. So yeah, and I understand it could be worth it for me if I actually gave it a chance and did it because I have a developed roster. But it really is in the great scheme of things. If you don't have a developed roster, then you basically are not able to do much in the arenas at all. You can't get the milestones. You're going to be grinding day in and day out to maybe get half or 2/3 of the milestones, but you're not going to get everything. And I think that's an oversight.
Well,
because you can't get progressing players, obviously, a chance. It's really only for experienced players now.
Yeah, that's the thing is because like for me to kind of like offer my input and my math and my calculations, arenas at large, for me, have gotten slightly harder. Yeah, there hasn't been like a huge shift. If I previously had to do about 20 rounds for 3 stars because I did a ton of boosts, like 2 rounds to get first 2 milestones with 2 stars, so that's like 22 rounds. Then about 40 rounds for each featured 4-star and 4-star basic for all the milestones, like 42 rounds. Because I could use only maxed out 4 stars and maxed out 5 stars to get that done, and I only used 6 stars, and that I had to do about 50 rounds because I mainly used rank 2 and rank 3 6 stars. About 50 to 60 rounds to get the featured 5-star arena done. So in total, I had to do about 140, 160 rounds to get all the milestones in 4 biggest arenas and first 2 milestones in the smaller arena. Even for me, right about now, I need to do well over 200 rounds now to get all the milestones. And given the fact that I need to use 6 stars to be as efficient as I can, I need to also kind of stretch in an extra session in the afternoon because I can't just grind 6 stars once a day anymore because now 6 stars are the main ones in 2 arenas, not just 1. Right. So even for me, arenas are worse, objectively. Grandmaster shards obviously are better. Ability to grind for 6-star champions insanely better. So therefore, for me personally, I'd be willing to live with the downsides if it would be just me.
Yeah.
I'd have to spend more time day to day, but okay. This is a scary result, but we got some results in. Anyways, I'll gonna talk about it in a bit. But for me, I'd be willing to live with these arenas on a personal level, but I understand. But even that for me would make life harder on day-to-day basis whenever I'm not grinding for a champion.
That's about double what I'd ever put up, and I'm
Yeah,
like, no
and
thanks.
I have top 100 account in the game, somewhere in like 18, 90, biggest hero base rating, 135 6
Yeah,
stars, a whole bunch rank 2, rank 3, and stuff like that. For everybody under me, you get significantly more shafted to a point where if you have under about 80 or 76 stars, it's borderline impossible for you to do these in any efficient manner, and you'd have to put in almost like triple the amount of effort to get the same thing. And that is kind of like the problem, because arenas obviously are the main source of units for one significant majority of low spending populace, right?
yeah.
And
I
there is no other way to put that. This new arena system has made this game infinitely more unfriendly for new progressing and non-spending players.
yeah. It's definitely a place where it's not for people. Like, I don't know how they could do. When you first start the game, you remember the beginner arenas, beginner arenas. Like seriously, just seriously, how could they even have that now? Because beginner arenas, the only thing you could do is the first one. Like the other ones would not be existent. You can't get anything because you don't have a 5-star or 6-star to use in that. It's
Yeah, exactly. When you
ridiculous.
start this game, like
Uh,
getting first 5, 10, 20, 36 stars is like a huge thing. And previously, if you had 26 stars, you could still use 5 and 6 stars to get that one arena done and then focus on the rest of the arenas. Most of the people focused on the arenas where 4 stars were the highest champions and the 5 stars were the highest champions, because those are the champions that you can relatively easily access,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it just can't stay like that. It just can't stay like that, honestly. If this arena system
No,
doesn't
it
change, the
it
game
can't.
will die. Let me make that
Yeah,
100% clear. If the arena system doesn't change, the game will die. No if or
yeah,
but,
it
and I'm
will.
not over speculating here. The arena system stays the way it is right now. It's not going to be played by
No, it's not.
more than
90% of the player
half of
base
the
won't
people.
play it.
Like, the thing that we need to remember, obviously, and why some people love whales, some people hate whales. Whales pay a lot of bills, but majority of the people are not actively spending significant amounts of this game, and majority of the people are not throne breakers or whatever. Majority of the people are somewhere in that relatively new middle range with couple dozen 6 stars, if that, and like some 5-star rosters, and like kind of pushing their way through. Um,
Right.
it's very easy to forget, for me, for instance, that there's so many of those players, because I have played this game since it pretty much started and I have never really stopped. And obviously, I have skewed perspective, but just pure numbers wise, it's a very, very massive group of players that are absolutely screwed over right now.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I would estimate it at being at least even okay. This may still be a little bit low, but 80% of the player base can't do what there's
Yeah, pretty
what
much.
what they could have done a week ago.
Yeah.
Which
And
is kind of insane.
realistically, aside from people that actively grind for majority of the 6-star champions, or will grind or plan to do so, everybody's worse off. Even me. Even me, I
Yeah.
have to put in more work. But at the very least, I can put in more work. I'm not happy with that, but I can do it, and I can still earn the units. I can still progress. Yes, it's going to be harder, stuff like that. But if that would be just that, if it would be just that, when I need to spend extra half an hour a day to grind the same amount of units, I think nobody would
Yeah.
be happy, but you'd be able to swallow it. But right now, the way it is set up, where majority of the people physically cannot do that,
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
can't, because you don't have enough 6 stars. You don't have enough highly ranked 5 stars.
Right. And I mean the worst part is the time to refresh. If you're not paying attention, like, let's say you can't refresh every, 11, 12 hours with your 6 stars refresh. You're missing more and more time every single time
Yeah,
also.
exactly. So yeah, well, we know for a fact. I don't know exactly where the Kabam Max post is here. I can find some in your instructor discussion. I don't know where it was posted. I know for a fact that Kabam, there has been like a screenshot. If anybody can link to that screenshot.
Well, I could probably find it real quick. I didn't know you were looking for that. I'm sorry.
I forgot to find it before the stream started, but basically, they will change it. They're not going to do it immediately. They need to, quote unquote, have their meetings, discuss a plan, whatever. There will be more arenas like this. But the arenas are changing.
Jeez.
And again, like, I don't... Let's make something also very clear. Kabam did not make a mistake. Only mistake they potentially have made is miscalculation in the outrage. And how many people are going to scream. They know what they're doing. They have the data. They know what scores, what milestones to put up, stuff like that. Whatever they did on purpose. This is a very important oversight, but it's not that they're stupid. They don't need my suggestions to fix the arena. They know exactly what they did wrong, and they know exactly how to fix it. They don't need me telling them. Oh, I found the post. They don't need me telling them, put milestones at this, do that. I can guarantee you they have people, they have plans, and they're just more or less debating right now which change to make that they would still achieve their goal and then shut us up. They don't need me telling them lower the milestones to all. So here is the post basically. Thank you all for your feedback on new set of arenas. We have gotten a lot of feedback, especially surrounding the number of fights required to hit all of the milestones. One of our goals in this refresh was to keep the number of fight series required to hit the milestones more or less equal. It's not. First of all, it's not. Even to the biggest rosters, it's not. Second of all, they fail to realize immediately, right here and right now, that majority of the people just don't have the roster that they calibrated these arenas for. Majority of the people don't have 100 plus 6 stars that they can exclusively use there. And the milestones will change based on the ability to use higher champions. You see, but the people don't have those higher champions. Most of the people who rely on arenas for units don't have those higher champions. That's the biggest problem that they failed to see.
Remember whenever, before you continue, I don't mean to interrupt, but remember like weeks ago when we were talking about this, before we knew they were going to bring this out, people kept saying when they're going to make a 6-star arena, we're like, they're not going to. It's just too early in the game. They can't. And yet, then they did it, and it proves that really it's too early to do this because...
Okay, I'm not saying it's too early for 6-star arenas necessarily, because 6 stars were reacted and we need
just the way they're doing it here.
But just the way they did it is far too early. If they did this arena setup like 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, plus having like another arena where it is mainly focused on 5 and 4 stars, it would work. It doesn't work right now because your 3-star champions are useless, your 5-star champions are borderline useless, because every time you use a 5-star in one of these arenas, you're basically doubling your effort that they are calculating. So this arena would be set for a few years in the future, and then it would only work if there would be the 4th arena where your 5 stars are the max.
Correct. And man, I just don't know, man. I don't know.
And also, again, well, it's too early to see exactly what the effect is through data. Yes, shut up, you know what the effect is. And milestones require more time and effort. Yes, the current milestones require a lot more time and effort for everyone, even if you have the 6-star champions to do it. There are many. Like, I am one of the people who's in position to be able to put 145 millions in arena. And even I'm saying it's going to take significantly longer for me to hit the milestones. Oh, also somebody's asking, what does it mean doubling your effort? What I mean is basically more or less 5-star up in, let's say, appropriate rank gets about half as many points as 6 stars in doing arena. All of these arenas are calibrated for 6-star champion use only. So basically, if they, let's say, I'm pulling a number here of my rectum, but if they counted that you need to do 100 matches of arena using only 6 stars, if you do it with 5 stars in that arena, which most people have to do, you need to do 200 matches on average.
Yeah.
Because 5 stars get half the amount of points.
Yeah, they get half. Unless you're using boost, but most people aren't going to use boost just to get the normal.
Yeah.
And if they really expect people to use boost to just get normal shit, unless they're an overflow, like, that's dumb.
Yeah,
no one would do that.
And that's what I mean, you're doubling your effort. Every time you touch a 5-star champion in either one of the 6-star arenas, you're doubling the effort that they have based their calculations on. You have to do twice as many fights, do the points that they calculated them from. That is like a huge mistake. First of all, they calculated the points too high as is. Second of all, they don't realize that people can't use only 6 stars in both of those arenas.
Well, KT, also, what they fail to realize too is the refresh time between a 5-star and a 6-star is completely different also.
That is what comes into the idea of they can't use only 6 stars. As in, like, if you were to use only 6 stars with the current refresh times, you would not be able to put up 32 million points for most of the roster.
Yeah. That's why they're freaking stupid, man.
Yeah, there are many reasons behind this, including higher point values, multiple... shut up. I'm honestly fed up.
Shut up, Kabam, my
While we don't have a plan, and that much is clear. Listen for how we want to address these concerns. We want to assure you that all the exploring number of options to address your concerns. We are committed to reducing the grind once again. They fucking better. We're going to do our best, but it's important to note in some cases this may still require a little more effort. Yeah, okay. This just sounds patronizing. Some signers before because everybody's.
That's how he sounds. Exactly. This guy always sounds that way.
Patronizing as shit. Honestly, it's a shit.
He's an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm sick.
He comes across as an asshole. I don't know the guy. I've never met with him. I've never spoken to him. Let's just say that he comes across as.
He comes across like the biggest douche in the world. There's a way you can word this without sounding like a fucking asshole.
Yeah. In some cases, a little more effort is like, why don't you try doing them and see how little more effort is?
Don't you remember he's not? What is he? Not even Cavalier?
It's very difficult to come up with a solution that addresses the situation for every summoner. No, it's actually very easy to come up with a solution that addresses the situation, but what he doesn't say, it is very difficult to come up with a solution that would address the situation for every summoner and Kabam.
Yeah,
and that is what they're missing. It's Kabam. And Kabam, because obviously behind all of that is Kabam's interest calls, which is why these changes here. We won't be able to address this right away, and there will be more arenas like this before we implement new plan. Well, I better hope it's not many more arenas, because honestly, every day these arenas exist in the game, more and more people will leave the game. It's a fact. If you can't grind out units for offers, if you can't grind out units for your energy refills, potions, revives, whatever you use your units on, and people are in a situation where you can't do anything in the game but grind, but you can't grind, then you can't play the game.
Yeah, I can't remember. He said it recently, too, that he's either just became Cav.
Yeah, I think he's fresh Cav or something like that. Anyways.
I think he's a fresh Cav. Like, whenever Thronebreaker was coming out and everybody was pissed off about deals, he was like,
I'm a Cav myself or something like that.
How the fuck did you just become Cav? You don't play this game for real, do you, you son of a...
Biscuit. Anyways, so that's the situation with arenas. The arenas sucks for everybody, but the arenas sucks the most and are game-breaking, deal-breakingly bad for a significant portion of people who can't spend on this game and don't have a significantly developed roster. That's just the end of it, which is most of the people in the game.
Yeah, they basically, and Hanach said it the best, they destroyed their own free-to-play model.
That is what it is, and I'm surprised that there hasn't been bigger outrage for that, because the game is borderline unplayable right now for anybody who hasn't played this game for many, many, many years and have a big account. It's just how
my baby account is struggling right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm almost about to stop playing it, like, except for I got in a pretty decent alliance, but it's like, damn, it's getting to a point where, like, it's getting bad, man.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I don't even want to do the monthly event quest on that account anymore because it's just so grindy.
Honestly,
everything's so
every
grindy
day
now.
They do not sort this issue. They're losing money. They're losing players.
I used to do some arena on that account too, just to get some units. Now I can't even do it. Like, it's, yeah, anyway. So yeah, there was another post. I don't remember if it was made before this or after this, saying basically, by the way, congratulations, KT, on your 6-star Shang-Chi, you son of a bitch.
Dunk.
Go do your infinite combo and just go breeze through 7.2.
You need him awakened for that infinite combo.
Oh, does he need to be?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I guess you got to do one more arena at 145 million, bitch.
I know. Tomorrow afternoon. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Here we go again. Maybe I'll do 145. No, I won't.
130 million got 83rd. So it probably went like
120? Okay, so maybe I could do 120. No, I still won't do it. You know why? Because it was fun when you and I were doing it for 5 stars, but then once the champions became shit, I stopped doing it, and now they moved to the 6 stars. I'm just not going to. But,
Yeah. Well,
but very good. I'm congrats on that, by
thanks.
the way.
But yeah,
Um,
this is just anyways. The
Well,
situation with
what I-
Arena is fairly simple. If they don't sort it quick, this
what I
is
was
gonna
gonna say
be
is there
Candy
was another
Crush channel
post.
soon or something.
There was another post that I saw by Kabam Boo, I believe, and it was like I don't know if it was after Kabam Mike. Like it may not be in the same thread, but it was definitely somewhere. And I want to say it was Kabam Boo, but basically they said, and I like him a lot better than Kabam Mike.
Oh yeah, it's
because he
her, by the
words
way.
things properly.
I
But
have led to believe that Kabam Boo does not represent the same team that you and I do.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
As in, like, Kabam Boo
But
is a
anyway,
lady.
long story short, he said that after this
She-
arena was over, after this first arena was over, I guess the first round of Shang-Chi, not the first arena, but the first round of Shang-Chi, that they were going to discuss, like they're going to have something to tell us, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, it makes sense. They better tell us something and quick, because people are pissed the fuck off.
People are pissed, and they're about to have their early access bundles come out for Mr. Negative, and I hate to see them lose more money as another company, getting people pissed off.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
it's simple as that. The arena system cannot exist like this.
No.
Just can't.
No.
And I know they like the idea of combining the 5 and 6 star arenas. I don't think it's a viable solution, and I do think that what they will probably have to resort to doing is maybe reduce the cutoff for 5 stars in these top 2 arenas by 100 and make a 5-star featured arena where you can use max 5-star champions. And
that would be...
give top 300 people or there the 5-star featured as well. You know what I mean? Something like that. I think that would kind of address most of the issues, because then you'd have arena where 5 stars are like the dominant ones, and then you'd have arena where 4 stars, as in Summoner Trials, are the dominant ones, and you would have arena where 5 stars, as in like this 5-star featured arena. And
that's what I didn't understand. They just recently went to the 5-star arena where it was top 300, and then they only ran it for... They didn't run it for even a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did it for like 8 months.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
do think
oh, by the way, now 6-star arenas.
I do think that the main core problem here lies from the fact that you're meant to use 6-star champions in 2 arenas simultaneously right now, and they base their calculations and milestones on that. And I don't see a single reasonable way of how sorting this out myself, no matter the more I think about it, without adding additional arena.
Right, exactly. They have to add at least one other arena. Yeah. They have to.
That's what I think, where 5 stars are max. They could potentially make the 6-star basic arena with max 5 stars only, but then it would kind of defeat the purpose as well, and I don't think that'd be a good solution.
The problem with all this, remember when they announced, that there's less arenas, but you can get 5 more units. That's the problem. In the grand scheme of things, that's the problem. They don't want to add more units for free players.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem. That's the core issue. It has nothing. Well, and champions.
You get 5 more units, but you need to do 8 times more work for them. Anyways, the more I talk about games, the more I'm pissed off.
I know.
And I know that I'm not entirely family-friendly streamer, and viewer discretion is advised for every single stream. However, I do not like to lose myself in my own anger. And the more I talk about this entire arena shit model and the arrogance and the audacity to even think that this would be okay and it would work, and the huge uplifted middle finger to such a large amount of people, I don't want to
just be happy. You got Shang-Chi as a 6-star from grinding your ass off, and I can say you got the best spot because I can say I can drive 55.
But yeah, anyways, now we need to talk about something else.
You know what the next thing we're going to talk about?
I do know the next thing we're going to talk about.
It comes out in 3 days.
Yeah, something that's happening in 3 days, and something that everybody's absolutely excited for. Oh wait, that was last week. This week, a lot of people are excited for.
Now we're not excited because you know what they did? They dropped the rewards.
Yeah, well, Because,
Hey, it kind of fits that second yellow line they have there. If it ain't broke,
I suppose. Okay, so
Kabam will break it.
yeah, if it ain't broke, well, Obama's gonna find a way to break it without changing anything, which is gonna be the core problem. Anyway, so let's start with the good things. The piece of content
good
actually
stuff,
looks fun as a piece of content. Let's put the reward bit out because I have high enough blood pressure right now after the arena conversation. I need to give myself like 10 minutes to cool down. I need to give myself 10 minutes or so to cool down a bit. Right.
Left.
7.2 as a piece of content. As a piece of content.
Yeah.
Looks quite awesome. Possibly, it on paper, depending how it translates from paper to the game, could be one of the, if not the most engaging piece of content they have made, because there are several new types and systems of buffs and nodes that look quite interesting, where you're gonna have this new superiority complex, where basically it's kind of like, let's say, alternate version of a class advantage system, where there is a node that tells you how to gain superiority, and that is by using hero champions, by using villain champions, having class advantage, having class disadvantage, or using the same class. Basically, there's an additional subset system, and unlike just basic class advantage system where you get attack bonus or attack deficit, your nodes change and your nodes get more potent and stuff like that. And I do like that. I do like that interaction where, like,
Can I just say that the one where if you're using the same class, when I first read it, it's called even footing, but I thought it said even foot long. And
even foot long.
I don't know where my mind went there, but I mean, I was thinking like foot long. What the hell's going on? Anyway, so yeah, then we got some new nodes.
Yeah, and cool. There's a bunch of interesting new nodes that I do like because they can give very important piece of utility to kind of counter champion abilities and stuff like that. And all of that looks interesting, and all of that definitely will make for some good showcases, interesting interactions, possible cheese mechanics, stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff where you can get either fury buffs or...
Yeah, I hope this translates into either the CAV events or like variants or just other new content, like, or maybe even make it way into wars or...
Yeah, definitely, because I'm going to tell you, honestly, these new nodes seem to be good, too good to just be left at like single piece of content.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking too. I was like, these seem like there was a lot of thought put into them.
Yeah. And then there are all sorts of interesting new nodes as well. Like, finally, we have Shock vulnerability, Incinerate vulnerability, about time on them. We have this No Surrender, where you can gain degeneration immunity or pseudo immunity, and you can have combo manipulation abilities and all sorts of interesting things. So I'm quite excited for a lot of this stuff.
This sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, which is what I want.
Reading through it, it generally sounds like a lot of fun. I said I will make a video breaking these nodes down, and I will try if I have a lot of time, but because of this crazy grind, I'm kind of behind on videos. I need to upload a bunch of I need to upload 5 more.
Well, you were also kidnapped, so
yeah,
you know, that's what happens.
So we'll see.
You're kidnapped, you don't have time to make videos.
Yeah, exactly. But and on top of all of that, there's even more new, where there's going to be these buff synthesis, kind of like buff fusion things, which I'm also very happy about. For instance, here, whenever you activate a precision buff whilst you have a fury active, you combine them into an indefinite promise. And that has a ton of potential, because precision buff, any champion can access via dexterity. And even champions, let's say like a shit-stinking Super Scroll, has access to some of the most worthless furies in the game. But with this, he could actually potentially slap, you know? So I'm very excited for a lot of this stuff. A lot of this looks very, very interesting. I'm not entirely sure still what is going to be my personal plan of attack, because I may or may not choose an arena to grind. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what's going on. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, guys. I'll let you know what I do when I do it. But yes, it looks very, very good. Very fun. I'm super excited content-wise. And more specifically, I was super excited, because typically these act contents come with some of the best rewards in the game as well.
Oh, did you say best rewards in the game?
I did indeed.
Let me just start off by saying they announced the rewards, but while the rewards are not bad, okay, I want to first off say the rewards are not bad. for 7.1. But this is
I'm just thinking,
7.2.
it takes some stones to stand up in a meeting with like rest of the Kabam officials and just go like, why don't we just give them the same shit again? Imagine like if
because
you
they said it at the very top, KT.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke,
yeah.
If it ain't broke.
Imagine this is a physical event. Imagine, let's say, a new iPhone launch where like Steve Jobs is on front of the stage. Late Steve Jobs is on front of a stage, and he is
So they have his
revealing a
corpse
new
up.
iPhone,
They're doing like a
right?
mannequin.
And
Got it.
and now replace Steve Jobs with Kabam Mike, and he unveils this iPhone does this, and this iPhone does that. Like,
I think.
oh wait, never mind.
I don't think any time in my life I'd ever be more likely to commit a crime than
Yeah,
right then and
exactly.
there. That's
Just
all I'm
like,
gonna say.
just imagine like an entire auditorium worth of people storming the stage, just wanting to rip off the head of whoever thought this is a decent strategy.
Remember the movie Minority Report where the precogs would determine you possibly could have a crime?
Yeah. Okay.
Like, all of a sudden they'd bust in that arena and everybody would be arrested because they'd be
pretty
murdered
much, because at that point everybody would be wanting to join in, storm the stage, and beat whoever announced this with an old stinky smelly shoe or whatever.
These rewards basically take what we said would be decent rewards like a month ago when we were talking about this, and they basically said, you silly bastard, those aren't rewards. These are the rewards, the ones the same you pretty much got last time, except for maybe a little bit more here and there, but not very much. We're still giving you only 1 million gold.
Go
fuck yourself.
This bit, I think, and this bit did not change at all. Like the chest pickups, are exactly the same for first time ever since these things became like a thing. Every single other time in between one chapter to another, they have increased whatever you can pick up on the weight. Yeah. So for first time in history of ever, there are exactly the same chest pickups, and for the first time in history of forever, there are exactly the same completion rewards. As a bit of perspective, I actually went back in video and checked. Typically, you get about 80% increase in the shards, or close to that, as in like 5 to 6 star shards, whatever you see there. There's exactly 0% increase. In fact, they only changed 125% tier 5 CC class catalyst crystal. So instead of getting 75% tier 5 CC in total, you get 100%, which, is not bad. And then they dropped in these symbolic amounts of tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic catalyst. And why I'm saying symbolic amounts, because they sold about 5 times or 4 times as much tier 3 alpha in the game on spring cleaning. And
how much are they giving you? It's
22.50. And even right now, by having done Karina challenges and having picked those things up, I'm literally gonna disable screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know they sold.
I have 33,750.
Yeah, I was gonna say they sold 13. Sorry, not 30.
Yeah, they sold 13,000, and they let you earn like 20,000, something like that.
Yeah, they sold 13,500, and then in the tier 6 they sold 14,250. I remember it was 750 more.
Yeah, so
like total if you got all that.
Yeah. So right now keep in mind that we have only had access to these things to two sources. One was screen challenges, which is, well, not easy thing to do, but let's say relatively free to play, accessible eventually, maybe not right now. And an offer, which still offered 5 times as many tier 3 alpha catalyst fragments as this thing does, which is the most furthest the game has ever went, technically. This is the top of the top.
It's exactly what I had said. Another member had said in the chat a second ago. They've basically killed their free-to-play game.
Yeah, because this is another thing like that. Is like, honestly, 2,250 tier 3 alpha fragments, it's insignificant, irrelevant amount, to a point where I can promise you this, that within a year or maximum year and a half, you will pick up double that with 1,000 glory or something like that. Just like
that's what I was saying. It would be fine if it was only one needed to take one up to rank 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be fine if they hadn't started selling this shit. And it'd be fine if they would have at least comparable amount to whatever they sold.
Because how many tier 3 do you need? Do you need 3?
Yeah,
or
need
is
3
it
of
2?
each, I think.
So they basically make it where if you want to upgrade, you need 3 tier 3 alpha, which by the way, you can only carry 2 in your inventory.
Yeah, that's also funny. They're
Makes
gonna
no
change
sense.
that. They're gonna change that.
And then tier 6, you need 3 also. So drip feeding it the way they're doing it is how they started
Again,
with the tier 5
the addition
class
of these
catalyst.
resources to this quantity just feels patronizing.
It's very patronizing, and that's what the problem is. That's for exploration. That should have been completion.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know.
That shouldn't be.
These are not.
That should not be exploration.
Literally everything that we were excited for.
And I know that a lot of people were upset about these rewards, and then of course you had the knobs that still want to support Kabam, and you should be happy they're giving you anything. Blah blah blah. I haven't heard anything about them changing it. If they do not announce something before Wednesday, these are not going to be changed.
Yeah. So no.
I mean, I could see it'd be rare. It'd be less likely they'll be changed. Let me say it that way.
So obviously, I'm not gonna be a drama queen. I kind of like look for the best possible outcomes and opportunities in bad situations, and this, unfortunately, once again, is kind of like a cornerstone for Kabam. It's do or die moment. They have reported their lowest earnings ever. They're losing players faster than I believe they ever have via the game issues, lag, crashes, bugs, everything else. Decisions that they have making are absolutely shit. Let me make something absolutely clear. The roadmap that they announced, there were things that I liked, there were things that I didn't, and there were things that I was absolutely petrified from. So far, the things that I liked have turned into the things that I fucking hate. So I'm even more terrified from things like gears and everything else. And I'm even more pissed off about the idea that mastery changes aren't coming until 2022 at some point.
Fuck them.
And
fuck that.
It really, really is not a healthy place for a game to be right now. This is definitely not where they want to be. And as I said, my personal success in my personal life entirely depends on the success of this game. Well, maybe not 100%, but it's a very large factor right now. And I want this game to do well. I wish it does well. And I do genuinely hope that this is the lowest point this game is ever going to go. That they might, maybe not through any noble desire to do better, but from the basic instinct of self-preservation, stop making these shit decisions.
You know, these all decisions seem like they were made prior to the earnings recall.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't care. But I know for a fact that the game is right now today. If you put a carbon copy paste of the game and you change nothing in it for a month or two, it's dead. That's where we're at. If they don't change the arenas, if they don't change anything else, it's dead.
I think that we can finally say that Kabam, and I blame it on Kabam Mike just because I want to. Kabam is getting high on their own supply right now.
Pretty much.
I think it's time for them to get snapped back to reality.
I think they are full on their own shit.
Yeah. They've got to get back into reality.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're there right now.
And that's why I feel grateful to see that they have never made less money than they did last quarter.
I really was happy to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Especially...
Not because I don't want them.
I don't want them. I know. I want them to do well.
Because I think that this will help them to make better decisions.
Yeah, they have to know that the reason why you made less money is because you were not improving. You're making an inferior product, and you get inferior money when you're making something inferior.
Yeah. So I do hope that we do see some drastic changes. I do genuinely hope 7.2 gets a small buff. It doesn't even have to be big. It just needs to feel that they actually give a shit. I do hope arena system gets reworked quite significantly. And obviously then I'm still going to be shitting it because of the gears and everything else that's coming.
Yeah.
But
someone had said that there was a rumor that the latest update was only downloaded less than 300,000 times. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's scary because they're losing players by the hundreds of thousands now.
Yeah, exactly. They are losing players very, 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 very rapidly.
Now they may come back when the 4th of July deals
It's
come
not just
back.
4th of July. I think they are in a prime time to come back if they start doing things that people enjoy. The way
I
for
could
them to
also
come back right now is entirely riding on MCU, an increase of MCU TV shows, and the new movies are coming out, and all of that stuff. So that is a definite way to recovery if they choose to alter their current course trajectory of their decision making. 100%.
Yeah.
Nothing is lost. Nothing is like as grim and gloom. That's why I said I'm actually fairly kind of optimistic, because they do have all the potential in the world to make this game much better than it is right now, and much more popular than it is right now, and much more profitable than it is right now. But they will not do it by making absolutely shit decisions like giving 7.2 the same rewards as 7.1. They will not do it by making absolutely shit decisions by disabling ability to earn units for all medium free-to-play tier players. They will not do it by consistently neglecting to test their champions, test their bugs, and releasing all of them in the wild. They will not do it by having a two-faced attitude towards the resolution of these things. Again, keep in mind, a bug that can be abused and the player can use to beat harder content that they otherwise would not. Emergency maintenance, in-game threats, do not abuse it or you're gonna get banned. A bug that disables all the masteries and forces people to die in Alliance Quest and Alliance War. Many alliances to lose wars purely based on that. Costs people hundreds of units to rectify by potions, mastery resets, and whatever. No announcement, no maintenance. Several days later, emergency patch, whatever, not even a proper acknowledgement. Shit like that won't fly, and versus individual thing, we're not like babies. We can, like, take a slap on the face and move on, like, But when you get slapped in the face every single day, there's just that much shit. This is currently, at this point, it's pretty much like an abusive relationship where Kabam is just dumping on you every day or every week with every new thing. Things that we were hyped for 7.2 somehow turn out the things that make us depressed. New arenas that a lot of people were hyped for are the things that make a lot of people depressed. This cannot carry on. And I am one of the people who has most to lose by saying these things. But honestly, it has to change. It has to change fast, or even I would walk away. Trust me, I would risk everything. I'd risk going back to work with a fucked up back than put up with this kind of company for much longer.
Yeah. It's just bad. We just need to see some semblance that they're not brain dead and just literally in their own bubble, because that's what it is right now.
Yeah.
Their forums is a cesspool of we will silence
Knob
anything
gobblers,
that critiques
derailers,
and
they have more censored forums than anything. Any post that was negative of Gears, any post that was negative of anything pretty much got deleted, or any relevant thread got derailed. The whole Kingpin Prestige era situation. Original thread got closed down only because Kabam White Knight Knob Gobblers jumped in there, started sucking it off like they have never done before, and it ended up in people arguing, and they had an excuse to close down the thread. And that's what always happens in there.
Yep. So
well, I think that is here we are. But let's finish up very quickly on some slightly more positive news. Now, I do not have a lot of photos to share here, but the point is we do know the new champions. Well, we don't know for sure. It hasn't been confirmed, but it's the same
leaked.
source.
We leaked last month and it was right, so why not?
They did every month so far, that source, and he has not been mistaken. So, we're going to get MCOC original character called Purgatory. And I know there was this whole drama with MROC champions, but I personally don't mind MCOC original champions.
No, I never have.
It's different because those are actually created for this storyline, this game, and the love has been put in there for this game. So I'm looking forward to that.
The majority of the ones they've made have been great. I mean, Aegon.
Yeah, Aegon.
Think of that.
Guillotine 2099. Even Morningstar has aged very well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and perhaps most of all, I'm looking forward to Maestro Overseer.
Ooh, if that ends up being true, I got a hard on my pants.
I know, right? It's like every time I say out loud Maestro Overseer, I get the semi.
I guarantee he's not going to be the same as the
Of
one we're
course
used
he
to. But I
won't
mean,
be.
if he looks pretty cool and he's the same size, and we get a
Yeah, man.
maestro, like that's badass.
Yeah,
That
I
gives
know.
me hope.
Obviously,
Maybe we'll
they can be
see.
junk or they can be good. I have a feeling that we're gonna see only good champions for the next 6 to 8 months. By the way.
I hope he's going to be really good. I hope that gives us hope that we may get a better Thanos one of these
Yeah.
days too. I don't know, but yeah, definitely
And
very cool.
yeah,
I'm looking
so
forward to that. And then we
well
got
looking forward to next month. And
then
that
we got
is
the
all
buffs.
right now when we still have Mr. Negative to grind for.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. But then we got the possibility of buffs champions next month too.
Yeah, and the buff champions seemingly are going to be War Machine as an overhaul,
which is awesome.
which I need to jump to my 4-star roster to find. It's okay. I'm sure I'm gonna get at least a 5-star because I can. They do those arenas with the buff champions or those crystals.
Do you have it on the? I don't see it on the screen.
Oh wait, right now I'm gonna. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Here we go.
I was like, we haven't been seeing shit, so I'm just seeing the forum post still.
But yeah, so we have War Machine rework with a pre-fight ability. So that does sound quite interesting. Again, I'd much rather them rework Iron Man or Superior Iron Man, but still.
Hey, I'll take it. I got a 6-star War Machine.
One
and
useless suit of armor at a time, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? I've always thought he looked like a cool character. So
yeah, he does look quite good. He looks like Doom without his coat.
He kind of does. Well, now, but that was before we had Doom. But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so we have War Machine with a full-on rework. So there's going to be the biggest change here because obviously you have to because he has nothing. He honestly has nothing in abilities.
He can bleed people.
He does nothing.
He can bleed people. He can bleed people.
Yeah, sure, why not? Then we have this bloke. This bloke up for a moderate rework. So this is quite cool as well.
Mine is Awakened as a 6-star, so I'm excited about this one.
Quite cool. Mine isn't, but I'm not that fast. Like, I have a gem if need be, if he turns out with a moderate rework to be OP. I do have a tech gem. That's all good.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, every single time one of these rework champions come out, I always have them. Either if I have them as a 6-star, they're not Awakened.
That's kind of the thing. Half of the rework champions I don't, and I have like a lot of 6-stars. Most of the ones with reworks, I don't have a 6-stars, so it's kind of pissing me off. Anyway,
I just Awakened.
Anyways, with Ultron though, I'm very hopeful though, and you should be very, very happy because Ultron's actually quite alright in his base kit. Double immunities, regen, access to bleed, access to stun.
As long as they don't take any of that away.
Yeah, so they just need to give him little teeny tiny extra bits of utility. There is this ongoing joke happening that Ultron will probably be able to dash back for 1.2 seconds, hold block, and convert his armor up into Furies or something like that. Because that more or less seems to be the theme on them buffing the tech champions.
That's true.
Dash back, hold block, get Fury, job done.
Dash back, hold block.
If he gets weak stackable Furies, I'm gonna lose my shit. I swear to God. I'm gonna upload a special video and lose my shit.
Me. I want him to be good.
Yeah,
I want him to be good.
No. He might be good. He might be good and all that, but I swear to God, if they're gonna give him the dash back, hold block, get Fury, I'm gonna fucking flip out.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true because that's what they've been doing lately. Ugh. Anyway,
it's kind of like
that'd be really cool if they end up being a really good champion. Like I said, I can rank 3 a tech right now, and I've just been waiting for the right one to come around. Maybe this could be it.
Oh, Jostro is coming into the fire. Congratulations. Why, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
And yeah, so Ultron's getting a moderate rework, but moderate reworks kind of historically have been more or less the better ones.
Jostro Endgame, aka 4 Eyes $5.
Because we had. Wasn't Falcon? Falcon was one of those.
Falcon is a moderate rework, yes, and Kingpin is a moderate rework, I believe.
Kingpin, yeah.
And several of them
very good.
now. So like Red Hulk, Luke Cage was moderate reworks. So like Venom was a moderate rework.
Yeah.
So most of the champions that they do is moderate reworks. They do well. So
yeah,
I'm quite hopeful for that. And the last one, the value only buff this time, and I don't know, man, like. Which values only they would change to make this poor piece of garbage functional, but it's Ebony Maw. Now I do have this dude duped at 6-star.
Wait a minute, didn't he already get a buff before?
He did.
Didn't he get a value up?
I think he got 2
already?
actually. He
And
got
he
a
still sucks?
after first week or first 2 weeks of release, he got a slight bump, and then he got balance together when the rest of the champions got balanced. And this is gonna be like the third value only buff he gets. But anyways.
But he still sucks.
Yeah, of course. So anyways, we're gonna see what they do. I don't know, but that is happening. We're gonna see what they do with him. He definitely needs a lot more damage, and he definitely needs, I don't know. We'll see. Again, I don't know. But value only buffs have worked in past for some champions.
I really don't care.
Value only buffs have worked for Moleman. Terex is relatively decent, but Moleman's excellent now as value only buff. So. And Moleman was one of the memes pretty much.
I love my Mole Man.
Yeah, exactly. And Moleman was one of the memes before, so there we go. So I don't know.
Yeah.
All hope is not
Maybe.
lost. I would not put all my eggs in this basket, so to speak. But all hope is not lost. You can put one egg in that basket. You never know.
I'm gonna teabag the basket because I really don't want to put any of my bags in there.
It's fine. Anyways, but those are the news, and we are just about done here for today. And
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to in the next week, KT?
ranking up my Shang-Chi, you motherfucker.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Level up is on. I have a
I'm
skill
looking
tier
forward to
5
possibly
CC.
get a Mr. Negative.
It's like level up is on. I have a skill tier 5 CC. Take a
Shut
fucking
up.
guess.
Shut up! Because
What?
I'm saying Mr. Negative comes out this week as early access.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
gonna
see
try and
about
get him. I'm not gonna put a lot into him, but I'm gonna try and get I'll open a couple crystals, see what happens.
But yeah, anyways, this is about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you're new to the channel, then
another
this
long
is the one stream in the week that it is me and Mando just talking and chatting shit to each other pretty much about Marvel Console Champions. The rest of the streams, we do read out your chats and actively engage with audience. Next stream, tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. GMT. Mando will be asleep, but I will be here. And
Sleep. But I'll be back in the afternoon.
yeah, we have super busy next week. I have to upload Karina challenge guides. I have to upload a bunch of Shang-Chi, brag, troll, rank up, all sorts of cool videos. And there's going to be a ton of things happening. And obviously, do not miss 7.2. I will definitely be on top of it.
And by the way, everybody, don't forget to remind KT he's got to put this on a fucking podcast audio only one of these days.
One of these days. Anyways, let's say huge thank you to
I love
Mando
KT.
for obviously joining us. Let's say huge thank you to every single one of you for being here, hitting that like button, all that other good stuff. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be back again, and then in afternoon, and then twice a day for every day until my girlfriend dumps me, or I don't know. It's all good.
I'll still be here, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm always here for you.
See you later, guys.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for being here. If it's your first time or your last time, do remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. KT streams at least 2 times a day, has multiple videos that will always help you out. And don't forget, we are assholes, and we hope you are too.
See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the